Okay, we are back. Sorry, it's thunder, so my internet connection went down and my computer did shut down, but I have my phone that I did share a new connection, so
Yay!
hope this works. Everything can happen. Anything can happen. All
Yes.
right.
And
So,
I saw where I cut off, which was further back than what I thought. So I'm glad I went back and checked.
yes.
But I was doing the analogy of getting hit in the arm and it cut me off. So I'm trying to remember exactly where. So if you're in the beginning, it's going through post-acute withdrawal. Once you've already quit the drug, you start going through the symptoms of post-acute withdrawal and the healing. You're past the acute stage and you're in the post-acute. And you get knocked with all these symptoms. And so if you're constantly getting hit in the arm, you start to get numb and it's kind of numbs you and you feel kind of used to it because of that numb feeling. But once you keep going and the months and months go by and the years go by and you start doing a lot better, and if you happen to go through a big wave, that first initial hit in the arm again, it's going to hurt because you're not numb anymore. And so that's kind of what it's like. And if you are experiencing that and you think, oh my God, I'm going back to the beginning, or oh my God, I feel a lot of the times we say it feels worse. Like I feel
Yes.
worse than before.
Yeah.
And it's not that you feel worse. It's that this is what's beautiful about it. This is what's good. It's that, and this is how you really should think about it and really, because a lot of the time it's about perspective on the way we look at this journey. And it's not just like I'm making it up or I'm turning it around just to be positive. It really is this way. It's not that it's getting worse. It's that in time you're getting better.
Yeah.
And so when the normal symptom of a wave hits, because that's when we're healing the most, that's how the body heals. It just does. And we sit there and we say, I'm getting worse. I'm getting worse. No, all you have to think of is it's because you're getting better.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all it is. And it just feels like you're getting worse, but it's not. It's just part of what the wave, we call it the wave, the setback. And then I was saying, I don't know if I said this already or if it got cut off, but anytime a true setback is when you relapse. That's the only time. So it does make you feel, it scares you because when you start feeling those symptoms again come back really strong, all you think of is I'm starting over. And that's not it. You're never starting over unless you ingest the drug. Or for some people, you could start cross addicting and go to another drug. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
quite sure about this, but I have heard some people who who do drink when they're going through this with caffeine, and they do still heal. But I just haven't done that. Like I'm
Me
done. I'm
neither.
done with all.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're both done with that, right? We're
Yes.
like, no, nothing. We
Nothing.
we don't want any mind altering substances in our body. We don't need them. It's like,
Yeah.
why was I drinking? I just talked about this. Why was I drinking in the first place? To medicate from the anxiety that freaking caffeine was causing me. So yeah, but some people, that's their preference. They want to do that. I'm not quite sure if the brain will heal from the because what we're going through is basically anxiety. I mean, it is post-acute withdrawal. It's all this process of healing, but the main symptom is anxiety. And like I said, I have heard people that had the really bad anxiety and depression through this, drank a little bit, and they feel amazing now at like 4 or 5 years. So I just suggest to stay off of all mind altering substances, but that's just me.
Yeah, same.
But anyway, so like if you're, at 3 months or 6 months or a year or 15 months or 22 months or 2 years, and you're questioning, why in the heck do I still feel bad sometimes? Why am I feeling symptoms? Why do I just not feel normal? Like we always say, whenever we know we're not normal, and Cato says this in a lot of his videos, the fact that you're questioning, is this normal, means that that's normal. Like
Yeah.
the fact that, is this normal, means no, you don't feel normal. You feel off. We say all the same things like I feel off, I feel weird. Weird is a big one when we say,
Mm-hmm.
is this normal? I feel weird, I feel off, I feel different. And
I feel
so
feelings in my brain now. This part is healing, and why before I could do stuff more, and I was improving so much. I was already so a little bit more functional. Why now, when I hit the big wave, I cannot do anything? How this can be? How my body doesn't communicate with me? Why I'm so dizzy, disconnected, feeling off balance? This is all very normal when it comes to this journey. So
thank you. Took the words right out of my mouth. Yes, I
very
love it.
normal.
It's so important to have that one person you can talk to and feel 100% relatable with. And you're not everybody's going to find that person, but and we talk about this a lot, like, and even for us, even for you and I, and sometimes when I'm talking, I notice this when I rewatch the videos, I'm talking to 95%, I'm talking to the audience, but then sometimes I'm talking to you. So it's like,
Yes.
it's funny.
Don't worry.
Yeah. Cause sometimes I'm like, do this, do that. And it's like, I'm not really, cause you're doing it. I'm not really meaning for you anyway, or don't do that. But yeah, so, but a lot of the time we do try to try not to compare yourself, but it's nice to know that you are not alone, because you're not, no matter what. And that's what's tricky about this whole journey, is that certain symptoms, especially the further along you get, like in the beginning, it's all the symptoms, right? It's just all of them at once. It's a mess. Everything's going. But then the further along you get, maybe one symptom leaves for a while, or 10 symptoms leave. And then you've got this new one. And then that's when it can get tricky, when you start comparing yourself. So it's kind of easy to compare yourself in the beginning because you have all the symptoms.
Yeah.
But the further along you go, and it's funny, one thing I noticed, I'll say the same thing, but I say it in like a different way. And my husband's like, you already said that, you're repeating yourself. And I'm like, well, yeah, but when you have anxiety, you have like all these symptoms and all this confusion, you want to say it in like the most clear way, and it's like, and I do that. I'll say it like 3 different ways, but I'm saying the same thing. But it's like, I got to get my point across.
Yeah, and it's part of the healing, and that's one beautiful thing of this process, and is this channel that we also, while we are going through this, which many don't want to share. I understand how could anyone want to share this, but we do. So we are also analyzing this stuff, and it helps us, like the same way that we are, like, even we are so much better, but this stuff was huge, like I wasn't myself in 3 years, like, even I started to feel more normal 2.5, and so on and so on, and I have my burst of energy and burst of feelings that I thought I was done before I did knew even post a good withdrawals. But during this journey, we have been learning so much about ourselves, and it's so much that self-realizing how we were before, and how much better we are now. And that's the beautiful part of the sharing this process, and that's the true healing, when you share honest, and you are not just always like, oh, okay, I'm like feeling so much better, but because it's not always feeling so much better. Like you always ask me, when this roller coaster gonna end? What is the day that roller coaster it comes to end? Tell me, Anni, that specific day, and then when I can tell you, because I cannot tell you. Only thing I can tell you for sure, it's gonna end.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It will end. It
For
will.
sure.
It's just our journey is all, we don't. Yeah, that's the inevitable question that none of us know. And that's the hardest part. We're going through this blind, and having that blind faith to know that, like, and it just makes sense. We quit drugs, and the proof is there in the post-acute withdrawal.
Yes.
And, Dr. Donnelly Snipes that you posted the other day, that's such a good video to watch. It is true. And if your family doesn't understand, send them those videos, send them, blow up their email with post-acute withdrawal videos.
Yeah.
And there's another lady, KJ Foster, Fostering Resilience. She has some really good post-acute withdrawal videos. And then she has some about family. But the only thing it's not that I don't like them, but the only misinformation is that they say up to 2 years. But I think even in one of her videos, she talks about how it can last longer for some drugs. And it just depends on the person, and it depends on
your genetics,
so many different factors. Exactly. And, but if you are one of those people who it's taking longer than you wanted to or longer than expected, it just means that you're still healing, and that's okay. I mean, it is kind of a, kind of a blow to to think you were going to be healed in a certain time frame. But then again, to know that you're just healing and that's what it is, that you're free from the drug and that you're healing, that is beautiful in itself, and that you will get there. And it's a journey, it's a process, but the healing is happening, and the normalcy, the normal part of it, that this whole video is this normal. It's so normal. And so that's the reason. I mean, this question came up, and that's what I had the idea to make this video. That's why we make these videos, because that's a sole purpose of making them, is because this is normal. Like, this is our experience.
Normal. And
if we're
yeah, and that's why, because there is many people who then are confused, like we were, like some point in our journey, we can think that there is some kind of magic diet that can fix this, or some people can think that there is some magic supplements. And I'm not now saying what to do. I just say that for me, there wasn't any magic diet or any magic supplements, and we're gonna do specific lives from those topics, because I know many of you are very interested, and of course that's a fascinating topic, like we have been so interested about diets and detox and parasites, and we have been doing, I could speak hours and hours about this, and biohacking and supplements, and but there's no point to bring that kind of stuff to this healing, because we have been experienced that this is the time game. This is really the time game. So you can do all the stuff and tricks and treats, and you can do whatever. But end of the day, if you are coming back to my channel and you are like, Annie, Mandy, I'm still here. I have tried all the things, and I have tried what other people say, that do this, do that, and I'm still dealing with post-acute withdrawals. So
yeah, because you're healing.
Because you're still healing. Yay.
Yes. Yeah, the time supplement. When you said that one time in your video, Audie, I was like, that's it, the time supplement. That's all we need is the time. Yes. Yeah, we're going to do a video about that, about the quick fix. But
yes.
Yeah, is this normal? Yes. And for us to be at 3 years and to still making videos and to talking about it, and another thing that's kind of therapy for us too, is that we were on the drug for so long. It was affecting us for so long, and we didn't know. And then we quit and immediately start going through the process of healing, with the craziness of that. And now that we're just kind of coming out of the 35-year coma of drug use. And then we kind of went into a different, deeper coma in the post-acute withdrawal in the beginning. And now we're coming out of that, and we're reflecting, we're reflecting on all of it. Yes. But we're getting that clarity back. We're really starting to have that clarity. And now we want to share it with others. And eventually, we'll be out living our life, surfing or roaming the world, doing whatever we're going to do. But for now, this is reflection time. This is, this is still growth. We're still we're further along than just figuring it out, but we're still experiencing. We're still in the experience. We're still in the process of,
yes.
We're just in the later phases of the process, but we're still in the process.
Yeah.
And when Cato told me, when I hit my wave at 2.5 years, and I finally reached out to him, because I was in the wave for 3 months, and I was like, because I had reached out to him in the beginning of this, and, every wave I had was never fun, but it was never like that. So I reached out to him after my first big wave. I got through my first big wave pretty much on my own. I hadn't even joined the Quitting Caffeine group until 5 months. Found his videos at 5 months, found a few other videos, and was like, oh my God, I've been withdrawing from caffeine. I've been in this, but anyway, so I talked to him. I reached out to him. I talked to him because we live close, and I know he gets tons of messages, but he doesn't, have the time to message everyone back. They messaged me back and we talked for a little bit. And for 2 years, I would just send him messages like, oh yeah, I'm going through this, I'm going through that. And I would say stuff like, I can't believe I'm still healing. Like I would say the whole thing, like, is this kind of asking it basically, is this normal? And he would reply back, oh yeah, it's, part of the process. It's still normal to still be healing. And that would give me a little boost of, okay, keep going, and then 3 months later. And then that's when I started noticing something's happening like every 3 months, I would get more vulnerable or something and then reach out and then just kind of send a little message. Well, when I hit my big wave at 27 months to 30 months, man, I did message him a few times, but I was like, this feels just like the beginning. I was saying just like the beginning so much, I started calling it JLTB.
Yes.
Because it was just like the beginning. I needed a short, so I'd message people, JLTB is just like the beginning.
Yes.
And I was trying to make a little joke out of it because you have to try to somehow grab that humor, grab anything, like
anything you can.
Mm-hmm. And I would message him and he messaged me back. But then I was like, something clicked in me. Oh yeah, he told me that I could call him anytime. And I did. And he just gave me that extra reassurance that this is normal and that and I would tell him, because I would even say this, I'm like, I know when we're feeling the worst, we're healing the most. I would say that to him and he was like, exactly, Mandy. He said, that's what I try to get people to understand. And you're the one telling me. And I'm like, yeah. Cause I'm hard-headed. I think that's the thing. We're both stubborn, hard-headed girls.
Yes,
We're
very much.
We're all fighters. If you're going through this, you are strong. You are a fighter. You're a warrior for sure. But I'm in my own little world. And so I want to think that I'm doing it, the best. And I'm not, believe me, I'm not at all. But my mind my soul, something has to make me think I'm doing this the best I can. Right.
Mm-hmm.
But, so anyway, him telling me that and just saying certain things about this is normal and just going through it all, it opened my eyes to wow, and I just, I would even ask him, well, in your videos, but then I didn't even have to ask him. I don't even have to say this. And I have asked him if I can use his name and talk about him in videos. And he said, yes, for sure. Because he's like, it's your experience,
Yeah.
And, but I did ask. But, he really got to a point, and I've talked about this in other videos, but I just think it's important that when he was at 3 years and made that first video, he thought he was 100%. He was good. And I think he was just in a really good place, kind of like where you felt before your wave, Ani, how you felt pretty good,
Yeah.
Then he just got better. And I'm sure he doesn't say it. He's never even said it to me, but I'm sure he had, moments of, well, he told me he's had moments, but he never describes like anything scary or anything bad. But the point is recovery. Like I'll never forget when he told me that the point is recovery. And I'm like, okay, so it doesn't matter how long it takes. The point is this isn't forever. That's what he meant by the point is we recover. And I was just like, okay. And all this was just sinking in around my 2.5 years. And now here I am. Oh, what's today? Monday? Is today Monday or Tuesday? Today's Tuesday, right?
Today is actually Tuesday.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sunday was my 3 years.
Yeah, congrats. And I was just writing the chat, welcome Sergio. Sergio write that I had rough time sleeping last night and intrusive thoughts. So all very normal. You are doing an amazing job there.
So normal. And what I like to do when I have a rough night or intrusive thoughts, it's really just part of it. It's so, let the symptom come, let it go. That's what I've been told. It's like we analyze it and we're just like, we're so mad when we have a symptom flare up. But if you notice, it'll pop up for a while and then it'll kind of go. And then a new symptom will pop up and it'll go. And that's all so normal. It really is.
And sometimes we have to, even if we have these very crazy nights that I also have had, like with my insomnia and this last, like the worst wave, because it's the worst wave that I did have. Started like 35 months, the big one, the tsunami one, and before when I hear that you, Mandy, had your wave, and I was there with you, and I really didn't like, because I haven't experienced that really big one before. I had a little like intensive pump in my 27 months, like it lasted some weeks, but I was back to exercise and stuff. So I won't really say that the tsunami one before that one hit. So then when I really have been hearing like the other people having the big ones, like usually they say that one big one and that's it, like not many. But then when I had mine, I was like, because I was already thinking that okay, I'm gonna just now do some other YouTube videos, and I'm gonna just take a little bit break from this. But my soul was bringing me back on, right on, like, so that's why I also wanted to share it in here. And then we also started to do these videos.
Yeah.
So,
And we were already buddies, but I think that really made us have more of a connection too, because I
yes,
had mine. And then when you had yours, then we had more, because we didn't really have at that time until you hit yours, we didn't really have that in common yet. You know, we had other things in common, the way that we were affected by caffeine and things like that. And a lot of the similarities in the quitting journey, the intrusive thoughts were one of our biggest ones that we could relate to, and the PMS, you know, the hormone stuff.
mm-hmm.
But then when you hit your wave, you were like, okay,
Yeah, I was
I
like,
think we
oh,
need
okay,
help.
okay. Now I
Yeah.
know. Now I know. I will
Yeah.
forget everything that I said, and that really puts you down. When you go deep down, it's gonna make you humble, and it's gonna make you when you
Yeah.
go through this kind of suffering, what many people hopefully never go in their life, the deep suffering. It will make you hell of a strong person, but with
Yes.
inside, because your ego will drop down, it will drop down somewhere, and you only have your heart that you will follow, and you navigate these symptoms like many you are doing now. So amazing that you are just going through, and that's the beautiful part of this journey also.
Yeah. It's true. It is
It's
beautiful.
really amazing.
I don't know why. I don't think that we both just think it's beautiful. I mean, it is. It really
Mm-hmm.
is. So to say that, I think, now believe me, in the wave, I wasn't saying that.
Yes.
But when we get that clarity, we start to really see it. But yeah, we were, you know, I was taking a break from talking to people, and I really needed to focus. And then when you had that hit that wave, I couldn't I couldn't just let you go through it, because you were there for me and mine, and then you hit yours, and we were already talking, and it was just, and then this organically happened that we're making videos now. So it's just kind of, it really is interesting how things kind of are meant to be and how they happen kind of naturally, and it's nice.
Yes, and we could now answer, maybe you, Mandy, also can answer, I can answer. Sergio say that I recently had chocolate chips, cookies, and Barks root beer, not realizing these had caffeine. What the hinder of the prolong my recovery? I say you are fine, and as long as you don't go back to that, so
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
good.
Barks. Barks has it. I used to drink Barks as a kid. Oh my gosh. It has like 12. Yeah, it has it. I think there's another root beer. What's the other one? A and W supposedly doesn't. But I'll tell you what, I wouldn't even drink a Sprite. I wouldn't even drink an A&W or a Fanta or anything. Like,
No,
I swear
we
to
are
God,
so
in 3 years,
paranoid.
so paranoid. I wasn't even drinking peppermint tea in the beginning because it stimulated me. It felt stimulating to me.
Yeah.
Water for 3 years. I've had like one or two plain club sodas, but then even the way that it made my stomach feel, I was just, I don't know. It was weird.
Yes.
But that's just me. But anyway, the question, are you going? No, it's
Keep
not going to
talking.
hinder. Yeah, it's not going to hinder Sergio. I've known people that 4 or 5 years that tried coffee, like a strong coffee, around like their 18 months, and it just made them feel bad. But they didn't have any type of like, when I said earlier, the only way you can have a setback is if you go back on coffee or you go back on caffeine. I'm talking like for, a while, like you just relapse for weeks and weeks and months. Then that could, and even if you quit again, I don't think it's going to like start all over again. the point is just try, if you have a little moment where you partake in chocolate or a sip or two of the something or whatever, just try to get off of it again and just continue to heal. Yeah, I don't think. And relapse is just such a big part of it anyway. So
yes, and just always like I wanna add something quickly because we're gonna do also this diet and hydration live, but in this between, like now when it's summer and many of you like you probably say that you cannot drink. Some of you say that you don't like just water or water tastes bad. So remember, if you drink, like if you have the water filter like I have, and you have to put some salt in the water so you can get the minerals if you wanna stay supplement free, like we are, like for example, this is the sea salt, like no raffinated, like just the organic. I now started to taking this, but I have been taking this Himalayan pink salt. So you can add, like if you had lemons, you can put lemons in the water and then pinch of salt, and this also can help your body detox and stay alkaline. And like Mandy, do you have any other like alternatives, or like many people they don't deal? We like water. We don't drink anything but salt water and lemon. I drink lemon water. Sometimes I put baking soda when I wanna do some detox. But do you have anything for those people who don't want to drink just water?
Yeah, I know. When I said that, like I only drink water. Da, da, da. I mean, that's just me. But yeah, other people need. I know somebody who drank root beer but put water. Drink a little bit of the non-caffeinated root beer and then put water in it. But, I just, a little sea salt like that is great. Like a pinch or two, especially if you're working out, if you can work out.
Yes, then add the minerals for sure.
Yeah, those minerals for sure. And, you don't need a lot. And plus, like if you eat meat, you do get, I think there's a lot of sodium and potassium in meat.
Yes, coconut water there came to the chat also can be good.
What's that?
Coconut water.
Oh yeah. I love coconut water. I have in my wave, because I felt so dehydrated, I did drink coconut water, but I was coming off a carnivore, and so I was scared. I was so not brainwashed with that, but I was really scared of like the extra sugar and all that stuff, but it didn't do. That's a whole other topic.
We're gonna dive deep there. That's gonna be very interesting info, and yes, and we're gonna show you our supplements. Do you have them, Mandy? We're gonna go deep to this. Yeah, you can show quickly. So this gonna be interesting live. We both have been the supplements freaks. I was in my biohacking years. I have already threw away a lot because I don't want to take anything, not even vitamin D in the winter. Even many people think I'm crazy here with the dark Finland, but we will go into that.
Yeah.
But now,
I'm sweaty. See, so I still get nervous and sweaty, and but that used to happen to me all the time on caffeine. Like, anyway, is this normal? If you're asking if it's normal, yes. And here's another thing, just real quick before we go on this video. We all go to the doctor.
We have to show that one video that you did like to comment, that kid and caffeine stuff.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. That's a good one. But just real quick, I went to the doctor. Most of us go. Some people don't, but most of us do. We feel so bad. We go to the doctor. Go to the doctor. Like, we're never saying, oh, you got to go through this for years and years and years, and maybe that's all it is. If you've gone to the doctor and you got all your blood work back, everything's good, and you quit the drug and you are having the symptoms, you're most likely in post-acute withdrawal. You're most likely healing the damage that was caused along the way from this drug. The brain's rewiring. All these symptoms are normal. But yeah, go and get things checked out for sure. Once you're told you're fine, like maybe go and do another, one more checkup or something a few months later if you want to get a second opinion. But I pushed it. I spent $7,000 of my own money because we had insurance, but I also didn't believe it. I was just like, because they were telling me it's anxiety, which it is. Now I'm like, it is. But I was like, no, I've had anxiety. This isn't any type of anxiety I've ever felt before. And it's like, well, yeah, because and the doctors aren't going to sit there and tell you, yeah, it's because it's like exacerbated anxiety because your body's like confused, where's the drug? And that's what's beautiful about the information of post-acute withdrawal, because it explains all that. But I just kept pushing it. I kept going to naturopaths, and then I started buying all the supplements like that was going to fix me. So that's what we're going to talk about next. But yeah, so let's.
Yeah, if I can get this somehow here in the, I don't know what this, my computer is doing, why it doesn't let me take this. Okay, I'm gonna just, Mandy, speak something. I have some technical issues, so I'm gonna just take a new capture here.
But yeah.
Okay, now we are. Okay. Okay, now I'm gonna play. I try to put this a little bit smaller, so, but you can hopefully hear. Okay.
Into their regular routines too.
Yeah, NBC Charlotte's Sarah French joining us now. You've been looking into this. Kids and caffeine, is it dangerous?
Well, that's what some doctors say, and it's a really hot topic among a lot of moms. Children and adolescents are the fastest growing population of caffeine users, but moms want to know, is it safe? That's a big question. Well, here's the truth about the popularity of coffee in kids.
I need the energy in the morning.
Riley O'Connor is like a lot of young teens.
Yeah. I have a lot of friends who drink coffee.
Most days she grabs a cup before school.
While research shows coffee might reduce the risk of stroke and type 2 diabetes in adults, little research has been done on the impacts on children.
Caffeine is a drug.
A very safe drug by FDA standards.
A very safe drug by FDA standards.
See, I don't see it.
You don't see that in YouTube? Okay, so
not live with like on the screen.
Stimulant impacts the nervous system. In fact, caffeine can last in the body for up to 8 hours.
It echoes a little bit from your, if maybe from Mandy, your.
Okay, you had just said it's a very safe drug by FDA standards.
Yeah, it did say that.
FDA is a bunch of dookie.
Yes. So listen up, guys.
Silly.
We talked to Dr. Pretty Mackins about the possible problems it can present for teens.
Caffeine can cause heart rate changes.
Coffee is also acidic. Translation, bad for your teeth. And
there is some evidence that caffeine can affect the development and foundation of bones.
But that's not the biggest problem.
Sleep and getting enough sleep with scheduling and homework and things like that are really, really major issues for children in the U.S. So adding a drug that potentially affects sleep is problematic and something that parents should consider.
School is just so much work, and you need to be focused when you're doing it.
Dr. Mackins says not so fast.
Usually you think of it as helping concentration, but in a child, and depending on how much they take, it can be negative for concentration.
Can be negative for concentration. Can be. It's hell of a bad for concentration. That's gonna be the last symptom that you're gonna get back, in the post-acute withdrawal. It's gonna take your concentration.
Apparently it's bad for your growth and stuff.
The idea made for a good scene in the classic movie Clueless.
That might stunt my growth, and I want to be 5'10" like Cindy Crawford.
But that's one thing you don't have to worry about. Coffee will not stunt your growth. However, too much caffeine from any source can be a real danger.
It's always too much caffeine from any source can be too much caffeine. Kids, they don't know what is too much, and when it's addiction, it's addiction. You can't control that. It's a bunch of bullshit.
Right. Yeah, they say just take it a little bit or something.
Danger. A South Carolina teen died after drinking a 16-ounce energy drink, a latte, and a large soda, all within 2 hours. Officials called it a caffeine-induced cardiac event. While Dr. Mackins does not recommend coffee for kids as there is no health benefit, she says 1 cup occasionally is not likely to have a harmful or serious impact.
1 cup occasionally not gonna have harmful or serious effects.
Yeah, occasionally. Dude, we were drinking that for all day, every day, for 35, every day.
Yeah.
The kids skipping it just
you
might.
don't just occasionally
I don't know if I
have
can get through the whole day without
caffeine when you're consuming it.
Yeah.
So coffee has 5 times more caffeine per serving than soda. For adults, 3 to 5 cups of coffee a day is considered safe, according to the diet.
3 to 5 cups is
3 to 5 cups.
considered
Coffee a
safe.
day is considered safe
Considered
according to the
normal, safe.
dietary guidelines for Americans. The guidelines don't say what is a safe level for caffeine for kids, but again,
Well, we're gonna say what is the safe level. There is no safe level, for my opinion. So
No, it's
we're gonna put that. Okay, but
Yeah, and then the very end, the lady's like, they're saying, yeah, just maybe consume it every now and then. And then the lady at the end's like, well, we have to have our coffee every morning or we can't function.
of course, yeah.
But and then they're saying that it's not safe for kids, but it is for adults. It's just like alcohol. Just because it's legal to drink alcohol in some countries 18 years, and then here in the States 21, it's legal. Doesn't mean, and you can do it as an adult, but you can't do it as a kid. Doesn't mean it's good for you to do the alcohol as an adult.
Yeah.
But just real quick, I saw Sergio was saying,
Yes.
Cato said, anxiety will expose all your fears you had under control. Wow, that did affect me. Yeah, and he always would tell me, as long as you have anxiety, like you have anxiety until it goes away, and it will go away. But all these symptoms are just going to come and go, and as long as you have it. And he's like, anxiety is not there to make you feel good. It's not there to give you any type of anything pleasurable. It strips you from everything good. And that's what we're doing. We're living this. But why does the anxiety happen? It's because the brain is wanting the drug. It's confused. He doesn't ever really go into all of that about how the brain's going back to homeostasis and it was an allostasis and da-da-da-da-da. And he doesn't really need to, but that's kind of like my spin on it. The whole point is, and what the point that's beautiful that he makes is that when you have it, you feel like crap, but it's for a reason. And eventually it does go away. Like that's where his reassurance comes from. You do not have this forever, which is true. But what do we think is forever? We think a year, 2 years, 3 years is forever, but it's not. It's just, that's just it's part of getting free. It's part of the price we have to pay to get away from this drug. And to me, the price is worth it. The cost is worth it.
Yeah,
100%.
Same. So these words is good way to us to end this little live. I'm sorry about the connection problem, but we're gonna actually do one more today. But we're gonna take now some break, and what we could say about the timing. Do you need half an hour? Maybe.
You want to do 12 o'clock? I'll get a little bite to eat. We could do 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
Or 11:45.
Yeah. Not so specific, but we're gonna come back. So
Somewhere around there.
Somewhere around.
Somewhere around.
So thank you guys, and